what I came on here to do is kind of talk about the new era of Sonic and how Sonic since Sonic Frontiers has kind of, in a way, I guess, finally has its uprise and it has evolved. Or more so, like, it's getting the phrase it, like, deserves for this era of Sonic. And if you're a Sonic fan like me, you know, like, I think around the after Sonic Generations era, or maybe like even before with Sonic Unleashed, you know, there was a whole time period where the games were just incredibly underwhelming. And I'm not gonna lie, for a while I was just kind of like off the Sonic spectrum, because I was like, these games are not it. And then they released Mania, yeah, that's what it's called. Released Sonic Mania, and that game did well, but that game wasn't even made by Sega themselves. It was made by a whole other group of people, group of dudes. For a while, I think fans were just kind of speculating on when Sonic Frontiers was announced, that it was going to be other butt cheeks. And then it didn't help that IGN, the fucking pinnacle of making games just look ass because they can't fucking play the game, and they be rating shit for who knows, or like, you know what I'm talking about. The fact that they got the gameplay, people were shitting on it because they said it looked boring. I still had high hopes, not gonna lie. When I saw their little trailer for the game, I was like, this just looks stiff on their part. I feel like they're not utilizing Sonic as much as they should be. It just looks like they were just moving. They weren't utilizing Sonic's controls, and maybe that's because they didn't want to spoil a lot. But then we got other footage, like leaked footage or something like that, along the way, and it made the game just look much more like appealing. I was about to say, I don't even know what I was saying. It made the game much more appealing, and I was like, this is what I was waiting for, just for someone to actually play the game like it was intended. Sonic, how to play Sonic. Having its uproar, I think this is around the time they announced the Sonic movies, and those, as you can see, are doing phenomenal with Sonic 4 on the way, which I'm super excited for. But with Sonic movies having their uproar, I think Sonic movies kind of, I'm not gonna glaze Sonic too much, but I feel like it defined the movies that come afterwards, like the video game adaptation that came afterwards. Like, people have to take the formula of the Sonic adaptation and make it better than what they did, basically. Like, there has been video game adaptations of movies before Sonic. I'm not saying that Sonic movies, like video game adaptation movies, but if most of the video game movies before them were like slot fests, or, you know, they managed to do good. The Sonic movie definitely had its like, this is bad, because, you know, with the shitty model they had. And finally they were the Sonic fandom criticized them for this model that they were going to use for the movie, and they went back and literally spent bands to make the new model that we have now. And if it wasn't because of that, they wouldn't have gotten this now current trilogy that we have with now, or the current cinematic universe of Sonic that we would have right now, which is absolutely amazing to think that they finally listened and were able to do that huge change that honestly saved Sonic as a whole. The movies and the game itself, the movies and the game itself saved Sonic. But you get what I mean. It definitely was a much needed approach to this. And with that, currently with the Sonic 3 movie around with the horizon at the time, we also got Sonic X Shadow Generations, and that game was literally a love letter to Shadow fans, because it's a way of Sega saying, like, yeah, we know this edgy guy, we're not trying to like forget about him. And they made a little like mini love letter with content to already an amazing game like Generations, and adding more content to it. Now, Sega, please, if you can do that, do Silver next. Like, that guy is literally your least favorite child. Like, how are you guys forgetting about him? Hopefully they remember that Silver exists or something. And so, yeah, I can't recall what they did for Sonic 2. I'm not gonna lie. I think around Sonic 2, they released Sonic Origins. And yeah, I think in between Sonic 2 they released those two games. I could be wrong with the time frame. I honestly did not play Superstars a lot. I didn't even finish the game. But it was like, those two games were definitely like trying to like please most of the Sonic fans. Now, I know Origins probably didn't do as well as Superstars. I think Superstars was more favored by the Sonic fandom than Origins, from my understanding from during that time. And obviously now with Sonic 3 that came out, we got Sonic Generations, and now currently the whole reason why I'm making this video is because of the announcement of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Now, some people probably hate on Sonic Crossroads, but I absolutely love the games. I played both the first and the second with the Transformer one. People can say it's off-brand Mario Kart, but say what you want. Crossroads looks fucking amazing, and with its collaboration with Yakuza, Hatsune Miku, and literally Persona, like Joker is in the game. This game can honestly not be any peaker. Now, I've yet to play the new Mario Kart World. Now, I don't have my hands on a Switch 2. I'm broke, but in due time, if I do play that game ever, I want to kind of compare both of the games. But from the looks, like Sonic Crossworlds just looks amazing. I definitely do want to play this game because this just looks amazing. And with the collaboration with the other games, I guess they really took Crossworlds seriously. And I just remembered they're adding Steve. They're adding Minecraft into the game. How peak can the game be? It's literally Smash, but for Sonic, but with very like Sega like MC or like characters, like they're staples of Sega, which is absolutely amazing. And this game I'm definitely gonna try, and this game definitely has a lot of potential. I definitely do want to try Crossworlds when it comes out. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of get on here and kind of reminisce on like the era of Sonic that we've had before and that we're currently in. I think this era of Sonic is very promising. Has a lot of potential for new upcoming titles. Like I said, I definitely do want them to kind of not neglect their other characters and try to like remember that they exist, aka Silver. Maybe make like a Sonic X, Shadow X, Silver Generations or something. I don't know. I personally just want them to not neglect much of their characters. I mean, for the most part, they're fixing their mistakes with their characters, like how Knuckles isn't much of a dumbass anymore, how Tails isn't like a puny little piece of shit, and Amy is literally a slay girly pop. She is independent for real. She's showing her independency. And Shadow isn't just an edgy hedgehog. This man, literally, we got his old backstory, we got his redemption. This guy is getting his every character is getting the redemption and characterization, how they were characterized before, like back in Adventure 2, back in the old freaking games of Sonic, how they were intended to be. And then everything from then, obviously with the whole downhill era during the trenches era of Sonic. But like I was saying, it's like I don't want them to neglect the other characters they have. They've definitely been bringing up some classic characters in other titles. They've been unneglecting their characters and have been fixing their mistakes with the characters and with their characteristics. Because Jesus, I mean, some of these characters that weren't supposed to be are finally getting their redemption, and that's what I like to see. I like that this era Sonic, they're fixing everything. It definitely looks promising. I definitely am having hopes for the new Crossworlds game. I want to really try it. And yeah, that's about it. It's just this is basically just a little rant, a little bit of a reminiscence of how the era of Sonic was before. How I hope the era of Sonic currently continues to just kind of cook with what they're doing, because Sega, you're doing an amazing job. I think currently I couldn't ask for anything more. Take all the time you need for Crossworlds. I know it was delayed because they have to fix a few things, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't want them to just make an utterly garbage mess how they did with like Forces and just make cash grabs or anything like that. I want them to actually cook with my favorite fictional character, and it paid me to see them just be utterly dissed on. And now finally he's getting the recognition and the redemption he deserves. Anyways, that's it about my rant. Apologies to the little cat if you hear in the background. And that's it. If this video gets to see daylight and you guys wouldn't hear other rants, don't worry. This will be a weekend thing. And that's about it. See ya. But I gotta do it. They always stay out of